Hi there, it's Friday and day 12 of your detox and reset. And just in case you've found this video on YouTube and you don't know what I'm talking about, please just click the link in the video notes below and jump across to the page on my website, and that'll explain everything about this 31-day detox and reset program following the Ancestral health model. And today we're talking about alcohol. Alcohol, it ain't water. In our culture, in all of human culture, it seems that there's sort of like this idea that we can quench our thirst with alcohol, but yeah, as we'll see, alcohol isn't innocent. We know that it's not innocent, but it's worth our while going into it because it is kind of interesting. Now that it is Friday, how is it to contemplate the weekend without alcohol again? Yeah, how did you go last weekend? Was it difficult? Was it challenging? Is it easier now or is it more difficult now? What kind of emotions are coming up for you? The thing is that when it comes to alcohol, right, we're not suggesting total abstinence, right, unless you want to. But like all of the sugars, and as we saw, is it yesterday, or the day before with the sugar dragon, and all with refined sugar and sweets and all the carbohydrates and all of the toxins, it's best to limit how often we indulge with them. So let's get into it. Alcohol is a sugar, so all of the problems related to sugars and sweetness, natural and non, are applicable here. Okay, alcohol raises blood sugar levels, it promotes insulin production, it stimulates the release of dopamine and activates the endorphins, which we know are addictive. And as well, this is interesting, alcohol creates problems that directly impact upon our weight loss and our weight management, but it's not because of the calories. Okay. But let's look first at how alcohol and the brain work. We know this from experience, but we know that alcohol is absorbed directly into the bloodstream and it has a buzzy effect on our brain and tissues, and this makes us feel relaxed and less inhibited. It seems to make our social life easier. We can talk more. It's easier to relate to others, but it also reduces our reflexes and it reduces our motor coordination. Yeah, it makes us do irrational things like ordering pizza and cola, even if just before you drank that aperitivo, you were quite happy with the idea of steak and salad. Yeah. So the important thing to recognize is that all of these things, the reduction of the reflexes and the motor coordination and that it makes us do non-rational things. All of this happens even if we're not drunk. Right? We don't need to be slurring our speech and stumbling, in order for this to happen. The reality is that after that alcohol has entered our system, we won't be as alert and we won't be as centered as we were before the alcohol entered our circulation. So that's something that we have to keep in mind. We go out with the best of intentions and then we drink a glass of wine and all of those intentions slip away, and that's caused by the alcohol. It's got not to do with our willpower, but it's to do with the alcohol. But let's have a look at the weight factor as well, because this is interesting. Alcohol makes you fat, right? But not for why you might think. Alcohol contains 7 calories per gram and has no nutritional value at all. But that's not the only reason why it makes us put on weight. It's because of an interplay between various factors. Alcohol is a toxin, which means that the body has to work hard to metabolize it and eliminate it before it does any damage. And so in the liver, most of the alcohol is converted to acetaldehyde and then into acetate. Right? So it's a chemical reaction that actually occurs in the liver. And that way, the residue is expelled through the breath and through the urine. Now, while this is happening, the metabolism stops burning other sources of energy, right? So while this is happening, the metabolism stops burning fat and glucose, okay? So fat and glucose cannot be burnt while alcohol is in our system. What that means is that the carbohydrates and the fat calories that we consume while we're consuming alcohol are directly converted into fat and stored. Yeah? So that's what's going on. Frequent alcohol consumption as well decreases insulin sensitivity and raises the level of ghrelin, which is one of the appetite hormones, right? And so the results, the consequence of that is that we eat more. Okay, so you can see how the interplay of factors is, these are the reasons behind why consuming a lot of alcohol is going to make us pack on the weight. And there's other issues going on. Frequent alcohol consumption negatively affects the balance of our sex hormones. That's true for both sexes. For men, alcohol is toxic to the testicles, and it lowers testosterone levels, damages sperm, and impairs fertility. And for premenopausal women, it can cause abnormal menstrual cycles, delay ovulation, and impair fertility, right? So as I said above, right, so as I've written here, it isn't Christmas every day. When it comes to alcohol, we're not suggesting total abstinence unless that feels right for you. But if we want to be healthy, if we want to optimize our health for the long term, then the recommendation is to save that alcoholic drink for special occasions. It's perfectly okay to say thanks, but no thanks, I'm okay. And to just remember that it isn't Christmas every day. So for us, what that means is unless we're actually doing a reset, which we do a couple of times a year, we do a full month with no alcohol whatsoever, and apart from that, we might have a drink on the weekend. We might have sort of like a glass of wine with our lunch on the weekend. Or if we're going out with friends, if we're eating with friends, we'll enjoy a glass of wine with them, but it's never going overboard. And from Monday to Friday, nothing. Having said that, maybe my drink on the weekend will be a gin tonic or a gin soda, not tonic, because tonic is too sweet for me now, too much sugar. But a gin soda with a slice of lemon might be like a nice Friday night end of the week drink. But I often forget. So I think that's a good place to be at with alcohol. It's not an everyday sort of thing. It's a special treat, and if you forget about it, all even better. Okay, so jumping down to the section on eat, that's a beautiful salad that I made once with a can of scombro. Scombro is mackerel, and so this is just a little bit of inspiration about how you can really sort of get into mixing up a beautiful salad and have a good play around with contrasting flavors and colors and textures. And, as we said yesterday, I think it was with the fructose email, add a little bit of fruit is like adding a little touch of luxury to your salad. And just a bit of inspiration there as to how you can jump outside of the box and mix things up in a stimulating and creative way. Okay, hope you're doing some movement. Today we've got, in the movement section, we've got the recommendations to do the primal essential movements. Remember that I think a great way of doing this is by using the little app called the 7-Minute Workout. And don't forget to spend 5 minutes writing in your journal, your little motivational exercise there to keep you connected to the process. Just, either do the recommended exercise here, or you can just sort of record your feelings and your emotions and how you're going, and where you're having success and what's challenging for you, and connect with me, get in touch with me. If you haven't already booked a private coaching session, you know how to do so. And that's it. And we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, ciao, ciao.